Here's the obelisk.
How long is that, roughly?
So,
137 feet.
Yeah. Now that we've looked at these marks all over the quarry, you can see it's very faint here because they were sort of making a nice finished surface. But you see this grid?
Yeah.
And then there's like somebody dug a little deep here. You know, they bored down a little hard on their belt sander and, dug into the material. But it's like think back to all the other structures we're looking at where we know that their standard method was to deliver stones from the quarry with lots of excess material that would be removed on site. So you can imagine that this thing it could have a foot of excess material on each side. Like it was going to be a much thinner and smaller thing. Right now they're cutting it out.
And of course they say this is the largest one ever found or ever known about. It would have been had it been completed.
Yeah.
Because eventually when they get it to the site and they're ready to stand it up, they face it.
Right.
Well, we look at this again. So this one, 137 feet, 1,200 tons. The largest existing standing obelisk is 105 feet and only 455 tons. So this is the largest ones that they successfully constructed.
Where is that one?
It's now in Rome, I believe.
Oh, wow.
It was stolen, right?
And is it the same material?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's granite. Yeah, I think so. But so this is the front of the unfinished obelisk. They were already making it sort of obelisk-y, right? They were giving it the pointed tip.
Right.
Shaping it already. But look at the trenches.
The trenches are insane. This is the most detailed photo I've ever seen of those trenches.
Yeah, and then you see the test pit to the left there,
yeah,
where they dug way down. This is what they call them.
Man, imagine spending all that time scooping that motherfucker out of there, and they crack it like motherfucker.
Well, that's the weird thing, right? Is the idea that they were making an obelisk and they discovered a flaw or it cracked or there was an earthquake or whatever, and they're
abandoned the entire thing.
Abandon it. Not like we have to cut granite blocks for anything else, and we've already done all this work, right? You could chop this up into a bunch of beautiful granite blocks, but no, they
leave the whole thing.
They just leave it there. All that work.
So that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.